So we arrived at this day. Took us a while to find the right date, and here we are. That's great. We began a journey a year ago, inspired by some readings that I found with one of my mentors, theologically, from Matthew Fox, talking about what's broken in the world, what's missing, what's not there, what would we have called forth for us to be the world that God dreams of us to be. And out of that came his suggestion, and we celebrate again these two figures that have been in our tradition. We've been talking about those the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, the message was God is into wholeness. God is a whole maker. That's the business of Spirit, making things whole. Last week, we talked more specifically about the green man and the black Madonna, how they can be part of that wholeness. Bill and I began the conversation a year ago, and I said, why don't you look into this and see what you think? Would you be interested in putting these together in an image of wholeness, a circle? And so I kind of turned Bill loose on that, and it was exciting to see your excitement once you started delving in. So my question to you today is to share with our congregation really what is alive in you, what is enlivening you about this journey, and enlivening with these two figures and all that's around them. You can bring out lots of pieces if you like. You can start with one figure or the other, or the whole project.
You had two specifications. It had to be big, and it had to be round. And
I try to keep my directions simple.
Yeah. And especially your topic. Anyway, I was thrilled because I've been working with the circle as a blueprint for meditation for over 30 years. I was extremely excited to present a composition in a circle. It's a little bit different. It's quite a bit different than rectangle. And because it has to be balanced, there has to be a flow of energy. So it was really exciting for me. And then I was reading that book by Matthew Fox, and he identified these characters of the Black Madonna and the Green Man, which were traditional in medieval and Renaissance times. There's over 100 carvings of the Black Madonna, the Green Man in Sharp Cathedral. And I had studied Sharp Cathedral at school, and they never even mentioned the Green. And it is the icon of oneness with nature. I'm thinking ecology and nature, and especially from my friends in the educational world, talking about our children today having a syndrome of nature deficit disorder. They're so alienated from nature that they're not understanding and grasping the love and support energy. So, and I got to know a little bit more about the Black Madonna. The reason she's black is there's no place she can't go into your heart and heal. She's the most welcoming, accepting, healing, nurturing. The Green Man is also nurturing, but he's like, in my estimation, protective, and he's a teacher of many things, and she is a teacher of many things. So it was pretty interesting to come. And the other thing was, we various representatives of the grubbies and animals and creepy crawlies and shell beings and birds of feather and so forth, are things that live around here.
Yes, yes, thank you. So this is also a great example. I really appreciate what Louise was saying when we sang at the beginning with Colorful Creator. Part of the dream for this piece is to return color, particularly to those parts of Christianity. We own that in our denomination. Our lineage includes a kind of, it's a Puritan ethic, a Puritan sensibility. And it's one response to things when they get big and confusing and for the Puritans messed up. One of those responses is to purify things and to simplify them and reduce them. And that has its place in the scheme of things, but it also has a loss for us. And we see that when I go into parts of our denomination that came out of the other side, you don't necessarily know all this history, but the evangelical reform side of our history, it can be very ordained. But when I go into congregational churches, yes, that sounds great. When we go into congregational churches, we still see often this legacy of simplicity, which can be a beautiful thing. We still see it in parts of Christianity. Amish are one of those more known symbols of that. Be plain, don't adorn yourself. My sense for Christianity, at least in our day and age, is there are some ways in which we've lost something when we've done that. And so singing that song, Colorful Creator, is reminding us that this is the nature of the divine, to be full and colorful and expressive. And this addition to our sanctuary is a way of saying yes to that. Yes to that in our lives. And it's also a way of saying, in those deep ways of yin and yang, of masculine and feminine archetypes, not male and female, masculine and feminine, we each have both. Every person has both. We need both. We need a time to be receptive and holding and listening. That's a more yin place. And we need a yang place where we're focused and determined and moving forward in a direction. So we need a specific handhold. This is meant to hold that in these two figures, the black Madonna and the green man as well. So my hope for us and for Western Christianity is that this will become more the norm. That we will be like the leaven here. We'll be like a really good virus. We'll plant something and it will just start to spread. We're not the only part of Christianity that's trying to get to this kind of truth. But I'm pretty sure today, by the end of the day, by the end of this service, we'll be the only one with this kind of mural hanging on this cross. And that's our way of seeing and saying, where will this take us? How will this teach us? My guess is that all that's in here, Bill doesn't even know.
You know, you never want to limit by your own personal perception.
So who knows where this will lead us, but my hope is that it will be an object of reflection for us, an inspiration, an icon for prayer. It will just sit there and continue to come out to us and teach us and encourage us and guide us. And that would be in our imagination of faith, this circle, these images, and we'll see where it leads us. So my gratitude to you, Bill, for being a channel for this one. I know this came from somewhere, it just happened to come through you.
May I say that it's a real wonderful opportunity for me. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm very grateful for a lot of people in this room. And we've been through some stuff.
Yes.
And it's a wonderful opportunity to give back a little bit. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for showing us again this other piece that Louise talked about. We are all artists. The artist is not a person. It's an energy. It's a way of understanding. It's a channel. And we each can be artists in the way we set the table at home, the way we work with anything we do. We can be artists. We can be mindful of creating space, creating shape, creating message, creating anything. We have some great circle. So this great circle is our image today. And I love that this congregation, you'd be surprised how many people still come into the sanctuary and see this center table and say, oh, it's surrounded. And they see the way we're sitting and say, oh, you sort of sitting around. And so for a lot of Christianity, a lot of people out there who are not even involved in churches, they're not yet knowing that the church is evolving, that we're reclaiming these roots, these whole